Hey guys, so I'm learning about maple syrup now and maple syrup production, and there's this really strange massive machine in front of me, so I'm just going to explain to you what I just learned about maple syrup production at Terra Perma.
So this ancient looking oven over here actually goes super long. It's like, it goes all the way down there. So to give you an idea, it's like 3 queen size beds long. And this is where all the maple syrup goes in, and they need this many buckets because the moment the syrup gets too low, it can crystallize really quickly, and so they don't want it to burn and crystallize, and then it also kind of burns onto the pan. So in order to keep levels like completely in sync, you need there's like 4 of these different massive kind of pots over here in order to boil the maple syrup and allow for a new batch to come in as you're emptying it. So it's like super quick. And that's what I learned. And there's this massive amount of wood everywhere in order to keep those ovens running for maple syrup season.
So I'm now in a mixed forest, and I'm looking at the maple trees that will be tapped, and I'm going to show you a bit about what I learned in the forest right now. Here we go.
So the way that you can identify the maple trees, you look at the leaves, which in the winter is really hard, but here you can do it, and then you can mark it in preparation, and then you can put a bucket around like hanging on the tree with a little hole in the tree that you can drill in, or you can even put like a wire, like this blue wire, and that little piece comes into the tree. And so what happens after that is, once all of the maple water comes into either that bucket or that line, then we collect it either with a pump, because it draws all of the maple water out of that line and into those big tubs that we saw before. Or you can actually come like 2 times a day and collect the bucket. That would be like somewhere around here. And then what happens next is you boil it down until it's literally like a third of the maple water. And according to my knowledge, it can take, you can even gather about 2 or 3 buckets of maple water from one tree in a day. And so it's a lot. It really produces a lot if it's a good healthy tree. And the tree is supposed to be pretty thick, so about 12 inches in diameter. So a pretty big tree. You don't want to use a little straggly one like that. You'd rather use something like bigger like that. And that's what I've learned. And then you know what happens if you don't clear out the maple water? Eventually it turns into vinegar. How cool is that? So yeah, it's not the end of the world if you get some nice forest vinegar. And now we know a bit more about maple syrup production. It's super beautiful. Loving it.